everybody? This is George Trice, Side of Storm podcast, here joined by my co-host Marcus Pfizer. Big Play Curvey is not with us today. His son had a competition. I think he had a football competition down in Texas, so he wasn't able to join us. But in his place, we have Mr. Clint Varley. And we asked Clint to join us, and he was ecstatic about joining us. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. But him and Marcus got some stories to share with us. And I also got a surprise for both of them. I got a phone a friend going on here today, so we're gonna get somebody else on the line too that they don't even know about. But that come a little bit later. But as we always do, we want to thank Three Beers Media for giving us the platform. Thank Rebelton Distillery for giving us the liquor. I mean, sponsoring us. And then Brown Dog Farms for the hot sauce. And so we're working on getting more of that. But I'm out of hot sauce. I'm out of Rebelton. I mean, I guess when it's good, it just goes, right, Mark?
Well, I got some of the. I dabbed in a little bit of the jalapeno one, the green one. I haven't migrated over to the red ones yet. It's just probably not gonna happen the way my my palate and my gut is set up. So I don't do anything too weird, huh?
Some heat right there, huh?
No, I don't mess with the heat. Like I said
before,
anything above ketchup level, then I'm good.
That's what's up. Yeah. We have to get you some samples, Clint. We had Brandon Hawkins on here a couple of weeks, like about a month ago last year. Sure. He jumped on here and had some fun with us on here, and then we actually raffled off a signed ball by him. And so one of the guys that won, the guy that won, he gave it to his son for a Christmas gift. So we had B Hawk sign a ball for us. So y'all see on the TV behind me, I got the Baylor TCU.
The Baylor game, huh?
Yeah, I got
the Baylor TCU.
Yeah. So we play TCU Saturday. So I just mean that Iowa State game just man, if we would have lost that game because of that non-foul call, I would have. Marcus, I know you probably wouldn't even jumped on the podcast had that happened.
I mean, man, it's so weird. Like, not to say I hate Oklahoma, but I never won there. I mean, it was okay. Had good games and stuff there, whatever. Our last year, my last year there, we lost in what Clint, double or triple overtime, but it was a long, big fight.
Yeah, in the Colorado game that year, double or triple overtime too that we lost.
Right.
But we got them back in the Big 12 championship. So you know what? I'd take that one as a win right there.
But it's always tough down there in Oklahoma, and like I said, earlier on one of the new Instagram groups or Twitter groups, some guys and got me into, we're texting doing the game, live tweeting and stuff like that. And I said, man, I don't like these close games like that on the road in the Big 12. It's tough to pull those out, especially being on the road. But we were able to pull that one out, with the non-call. And hey, get on the bus and let's go home.
And they're projected 9 of us to be in an NCAA championship. So I mean, this Big 12 is going to be tough this year. But I'm gonna go backwards real quick. Clint, so tell the audience, on the Side of Storm podcast, you don't need to introduce yourself because they know who you are. But what have you been up to? What are you doing these days, my man?
Yeah, still living in Des Moines area, right by Ames. Try and get up to ISU as much as I can for football and basketball games. Working for Wells Fargo here in Des Moines, loving it. I've got a son that's playing basketball and football right now, so it's exciting times for that, and just really enjoying it here in Iowa.
That's what's up. Now, Clint, where are you
with
from?
The snow? With the snow.
With the snow.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally, Clint?
I'm from Stewart area originally, so I'm literally only about 30 miles from where I grew up right now.
That's good. You get to see family too.
Yeah, my brothers still farm. My dad still farms. I try and get out, a little bit during harvest season. So it's nice to still be able to get out and take the son out to the farm every once in a while and just get out there.
Right.
it's funny how many of my friends are farmers. Like I tell this story, like Priest. I didn't know Priest was the boar guy, and then my man Joe Eggers, doing the pigs. And I mean, you find that out later. You just talking to them, normal people, because you don't think about that. I'm from Cleveland. You don't. I don't run into farmers, but then you go to Iowa, you're like everybody's a farmer. Everybody's like from the country, from small towns. Like my roommate, she graduated with like 37 people maybe 27 people, I think. And I'm like, you
Mhm.
graduated with 27 people? I mean, that's I
Chill,
had
chill.
my high
I
school
graduate.
class was
I
400.
graduated with 42. I graduated with 42. Chill out. Chill out on the small town.
42 people. Like, I can't fathom it. Clint, how many did you graduate with?
There were 65, so I got my oldest class.
He got you on
We
that
probably
one.
would have been there for another hour if it was 65 people in our class.
Man, we had to run out of
We
venue.
started out with about 60, but
Yeah.
ended with about 42 of them.
But you went to a special school though, like
Who?
right? So your school, Marcus. So did you go to a normal? You didn't
Well,
go
I
to
mean,
a normal
just
high school. It was a prep high school, right?
no. I went,
Oh,
no, prep schools wasn't like that back then. It was a normal high school. It was just a small town,
small town.
Arcadia, Louisiana, which was probably about 5,000-6,000 people in the whole little small town. We got 2 red lights. That type of, like, seriously,
Okay.
like the second one came here recently.
Uh,
When I was in high school, it was just one. The one that controlled how you went and came out of the high school. But yeah, I mean, it's just a small town, so I definitely know how that is. We didn't do no farming though.
yeah, I understand that. I got a job detasseling one year in Iowa, and I didn't know what it was, so I didn't start that job. I was like, I'm not gonna be
I
out.
still don't know what it is. What is it?
It's taking the tops off. I think it's taking the tops off the corn. So during harvest season,
Yeah.
it's something to do with corn. Clint, explain this to us, because I didn't start the job. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so in the fall, sometimes you've got to detassel corn if you want to make sure that you're not getting stuff that's going to cross pollinate with each other. So it's the hottest time of the year, and you're literally in a field of corn that is 100% humidity. And I never did much of it because we didn't do that on my farm, but I've heard some stories, and it's a tough way to make some cash.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was like, it was like, okay, well, they were paying good money for it. I'm like, college student, just something to do, you'll give back to the earth. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. But that's what's up, But yeah, so we got Clint on here, and Clint and Marcus played a little bit ball together, and then I said I was gonna have a special guest come on, so I'm about to phone in a friend real quick. We're gonna see if this guy jumps on. You may know him. You may. Do y'all hear ringing?
It's
I
ringing.
heard it.
It's ringing. Let's see who this is.
Hello?
Mr. Michael Nurse, everybody. You are live on the air, Mike, with with me and Marcus and Clint. We're just starting the recording, so I told them I was gonna phone a friend, and they didn't know who was coming on. So we're trying to shift things up a little bit, and get you on with these guys because we're 2-0 in the conference. So I want to throw something else out there to the fans because we just want to talk. We like to bring up stories about Iowa State, from what you remember, if you remember things and stuff like that. But we knew you had just some your teammates on here, so we just wanted y'all to like rap and talk about some things. So, how you doing, my man? What you up to these days?
I'm doing great. I'm in my off season. I have a food truck. It's winter here, cold as hell. So,
and this isn't an edited podcast, so you can let it go if you want to.
Well,
don't give him that.
Yeah, that might be tough now.
I don't believe in that type of language.
Oh, you're a liar.
So I do refrain from the vulgarity.
Oh, really,
because well, it's just I got kids now.
Yep.
I have a mother.
Oh, but you've always had a mother.
Yes, but I rediscovered her.
Oh, hold on. So explain to me, explain to the fans of side of the story how you rediscovered your mom. Like, what's that?
Well, it's I guess it's a strange thing, you know.
Okay.
She's been my mother for 45 years.
Yes. Yes.
But in the last 3 days, I've really rediscovered her, and you know, I'm on a path of being a better son, which means no cursing and slowing down on the drink.
Slowing down on the drinking.
Yeah.
Message.
This is key to me being a better son in the last 3 days.
Good for you, Mike.
Love it.
Okay. I mean, hey, you know what? I like that. I like that because the last time I saw you, this was not you. And we're not going to talk
But that
about the
wasn't
whole.
2
We're not
days
going to talk
ago.
about everything that happened when I. So Mike just talked about the fact that he has his own, smoking business, his food truck, and I took him to a place. We're not going to call that place out, Michael. So please don't, Mike, don't call that place out. But the
Honestly, I don't remember the name.
good.
I just know if I'm in the vicinity, I'm not going in there.
The barbecue was not up to par to what Mike wanted. So he blames me for that fiasco. But he did get bebops the Sunday morning before he left. He did get some bebops, right?
I did. So I came to Ames with an expired driver's license. So I had to get a ride from the Des Moines airport to get to Ames. Luckily, Stevie was in Des Moines, or else I would have been stranded. So I had no car, and everybody left. Everybody left. I was there I was in the hotel by myself. So I just walked out and walked down the street, even though Bebops was there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some Bebops. I'm gonna get some beer and I'm gonna get some Bebops. And I got the Bebops and I ate it. And then I got the beer and I walked back to the hotel and I drank the beer. And that was my backsliding days. So,
Okay.
I had to do it.
So Clint Marcus, does this sound anything like the Michael Nurse that you all know?
I'm gonna let Clint go on that one.
I would not be surprised on the beer and bebops. That does not seem too far out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, as I said before, it's been 3 days.
He's a new man.
It's only been 3 days. He's only changed for 3 days, ladies and gentlemen. So there's still time for him to
I
backslide.
rediscovered my mother 3 days ago, and I found out I had kids 3 days ago, and it's working. I'm a new man.
You know what? It's a new year, new you. That I mean, your resolution is going 3 days. It's hold on, it's the fourth day, so you backslid a little bit on one day because it's the fourth day of the year. But I mean,
That was the first day of the year. So, technically it was a new year coming in. So
okay.
Yeah, it was
That's
the
a heck
first
of a
day.
start,
It was
2023.
It was January 1st. And I was just like, I got a mother.
Ooh,
And I got kids. I also have a dog. Doing this for the dog also.
I mean, you've been living on autopilot. That's a good thing in some circles. But when you rediscover
Man, that
you have
sounds
kids
awesome.
it does not sound awesome. What are you talking about?
Like an autopilot. That would be, whoa, that would be something nice. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't have to see these people, really?
I hope they don't listen to the podcast.
I guess he's always been on semi autopilot. Close enough.
Listen, like I said, it's been 3 days. Like one's 16, one's 8. It's only been 3 days.
All right. Well, you know what? We are so far off topic. This is how I wanted to start the new year because I wanted everybody to enjoy the new year, smile in this new year because 2023 was rough. So, Mike, thank you for allowing us to smile a little bit as we start this new year, the first podcast of the year for Side of the Storm. We're gonna have to get you. Well, you don't drink, so we can't get you a bottle of Rebelton, but we can get you some Brown Dog Farms hot sauce, and you can test their hot sauce and see what you can do with that because of your business, right?
Maybe. Sure, man.
Right.
I'm into tasting hot sauce. I'm
okay.
not a. I mean, I've basically been saved, but I can do hot sauce.
He saved basically.
Well, I see. I didn't know what to expect when we phoned a friend. But, it's not far off from what I thought. But Mike, while we brought you on here, we brought you on here for a reason. Did you watch? Have you watched any Iowa State games this year so far, or this season so far?
So it seems like every time they're on, I'm doing something, or just I got to watch them today.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them versus Connecticut, which was it was not a good day for us.
No.
And Connecticut's a really, really good team. But I watched them today. It's the same defense as last year, intensity, playing hard. If you can get your kids to play hard, that's half the battle. And they play hard all the time. They might make mistakes, but when you're playing hard, so a lot of those mistakes are covered up.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, they had a 17-point lead. I know it was early. They was like up 22-5, and that was that's early in the game. But like you said, they played hard. But one thing that you said they had the same defense as last year. How far are they going to go? How far in the Big? What are we going to finish in the Big 12? We're third in the Big 12 right now. Overall record, we're 2-0, so we're tied for first. But 10-2 or 11-2 right now. 2-0 in the Big 12. What is your predictions for what we're going to see here out of this team as we go into the conference play and end of the year? Going into the tournament. What are your thoughts? The same thing goes for you, Clint, and the same thing goes for you, Marcus. What are y'all thoughts about where we're going to go with this team this year and how y'all feel we might end up?
Well, listen, playing in the Big 12, and all three of us played in the Big 12. Getting any road wins, any, is so difficult. The bar is so high.
Right.
The bar is so high to get to walk out of somebody else's building with a victory, and we did that today. That's a huge step for us. That's a huge step, and we took that step today, and I hope we can build on it. Our defense is going to be there. I do worry about our offense. I worry about our offense, our offensive efficiency. I worry about when everything breaks down, where are we getting a quality shot from? When it's late in the game, clock running out, do they have someone that could go and get a bucket? Now, our point guard did it today.
Yeah.
And I hope it continues. But that's my worry about this team. Do we have someone that we can rely on to not only get shots, but to create easier shots for his teammates?
Yeah, because
that might come off of the defense.
Yeah, I mean, you hit on a good point. I'll let y'all get in, Clinton, Marcus. But yeah, when looking at what we have it, depending on where you look at, we're like the 6th or 7th top recruiting class of last year. So our recruiting class was high, and we talked about this before. We had Brandon Hawkins on. We talked about Osudi, and he had 12 points tonight. I think something like that. 8 rebounds, 12 points. He's finding a way to fit in. But as high as he was regarded when coming in, I'm hoping that he shows us more because that's where Brandon, that's where Marcus were looking at saying this cat has to give us more for as high as he's regarded as our center. Clint, what's your thought on it?
Yeah, I would just add to what Mike said. I'm sure Mike and Marcus, you remember the system that we had when we played, which was if you get a road win, that's a +1.
Right.
If you get a road loss, it's 0. If you get a home loss, it's a -1. And if you get a home win,
Absolutely.
it's a 0.
Right.
So that was drilled into us all the time. And basically it just was saying, the team that's going to get the most road wins is going to win conference. And it played out that year right as we looked at it. I look at this conference, and you got 10 teams that are all a hard out. You talk about where we want to be. I mean, if we can be in the top half of this conference, that's doing well. You got 3 to 4 teams at the very top that are going to be national championship contenders. So it's not a top 4 or 5 finish is not a bad season by any means. And that's obviously going to be an NCAA tournament run. And I think that's where you want to go with it. You want to win some Big 12 tournament games, and you want to win a couple rounds in the NCAA tournament and maybe see if you can get into the next weekend and go with it.
Yeah. Survive and advance. Mark, what you thinking?
Well, yeah, just to reiterate on what the guy said, I mean, the Big 12 at home is tough enough, and especially on the road, is just a different dynamic for us all. Those were the games that, Coach Stacey really was on one, preparing us for them. I'm talking about too, when we're in practice, if you're not stride stopping, like it's on the line, because your focusedness is not where it needs to be. And for us, it was just having that focus of what we needed to do to get a win, however we're going to get a win. After the games, our bodies are worn out, we're beat up, things like that, because, everyone wants to play extremely hard and get that home win. So when you're trying to sneak it away from them on the road, it's not easy. Our first home loss, road loss, it was to was it Oklahoma or Colorado? It was Colorado, right? The first home road loss.
Double overtime.
I think Oklahoma first, then Colorado. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
No,
we lost
Oklahoma
both of those
in double overtime.
Oklahoma in double overtime, and then the next one we lost, I think it was in Colorado in double or triple.
Yes.
But it was a fight. They weren't giving it up. And we damn sure was trying to take it. Going into their arena, going into their home, going into that hostile environment, it wasn't easy at all. So to get this win, the first win at home against Baylor, and then this one on the road, is a big confidence builder. But like Mike says, they got to get more in tune on the structure of what's going on. It doesn't have to be, I hadn't gotten a shot, now I got to get up a shot. Like, there was always a strategy of what's going to happen. If you dropped it low to me and they were coming, I know Mike or Kentrell was over on the other side wide open, and you got to move it. You got to make that pass. You got to trust. Once they put it up, I'm running back on the defensive end. I used to tell Mike, you got to make that, because I'm trying to get back on the defensive end. You make the shot, it's all rolling, it's all clicking. So for me, that's something that needs to be cleared up a little bit. And of course, I'm biased. I think the young fella with his athletic ability, because for most part of the game, I'm looking at the stats, he had 2 rebounds. We're in the second half, 2 and 3 rebounds, and I'm like, you got to go in there and get those boards. You got to control the structure of the game. And as the season wears on and gets deeper into the Big 12, it's not going to get any easier. Getting those first 2 wins is great, but as it progresses on, it's going to be a lot tougher once, these teams start to scout you a little bit more, see what we have, see how close it was, this game versus that game, and it's not going to be that easy.
One thing I do like about the way the team's playing this year is last year was, it was like I'm from Cleveland, and you talk about the Browns cardiac kids. That's why Cleveland Clinic is one of the best heart hospitals in the country, because the Browns make us that way. But last year, we played from behind a lot. We were coming from behind in the game, and we found ways to win because we gritted it out and grinded it out. But this year, we are playing from ahead. Now, we're getting some leads. We're building some leads, playing with fire, letting teams get back in, as you saw tonight, letting them get back in and get some hope. And, this could have went a different way had they made a couple different shots tonight. But I do like the fact that we are playing from a position of power this year, than we have last year. I think Otts has changed some things up on how he's coaching these guys and how he's telling them to come out there and fire. I looked at the last 2 minute the 2 minute drill at the end, and they were playing with a different pace, a different sense of urgency. Even though they were up, they were playing with that different sense of urgency, and it seemed like that fast pace is good for Grill, but it doesn't seem like it's good for all of the players. Grill, I think, thrived in that situation. But the other players, I don't think did as well. Lipsy did some things, but I don't think the rest of the team is really at that pace. So they got to find that happy medium, I think, right now, because that could hurt us in the end of the games if they are close or if they are or win it at the end of the games. And I don't know what y'all noticed from last year to this year.
Well, let me take a step back from that, and I'll comment on that in a second. I want to comment on the big fella, and you know how you feel about big fellas. You want them to rebound, block shots, dominate in the paint, and then after the game, you want them to sweep up, clean up the gym. We want them to do all types of shit, right?
Yep.
Just figure this guy came from the Atlantic 10, and I'm not knocking the Atlantic 10. It ain't the Big 12.
No, it ain't the
right?
Big 12.
You know,
Right.
The Big 12 is a different animal. It's a different type of intensity when you have to go to Oklahoma. When, God forbid, when we have to go to Texas Tech. Because going to Texas Tech is a fucking nightmare.
Right.
He needs, I feel that he needs time. He needs to find out how to meet that intensity, you know, because it's different. Like he's never played at this level. You could play teams from the Big 12. You could play teams from the ACC. You could play teams from the Pac-12, Big 10, all that. But you're not playing them every single night.
Right.
Right? You're not getting the scouting report that we had to get later on in the season. Because all these coaches are good. Like, there's no way they're at this level and they're not good coaches. So they know everybody's tendency. They're going to know what teams are doing. Like, I feel we need to give the guys that haven't been in this system, like, look at how good Grill looks now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
What was Grill last year? Grill was a spot-up shooter that if he wasn't hitting threes, he's out of there. This year, he's playing with more confidence. Why? Because he got to play in this system last year. He got to play in the Big 12 last year. That's what happened with me. I'm going off of my experience. So my first year in the Big 12, coming from JUCO, it's a whole nother animal. It's not even remotely close. I was dominant at my JUCO. I was the man. It didn't matter what you drew up. I was going to get where I wanted, when I wanted. I was going to make it happen. You get to Big 12 play my junior year, all of a sudden, I'm playing against Texas, right? We're playing against Texas. And I've watched Texas over the years because of Reggie Freeman. Reggie Freeman's from the New York area.
From New York, yep.
Right? So I'm watching him on ESPN and whatnot, right? I get into the game, and Chris Clark and Wagner, I get in, Mims is there. I get into the game. I came off the bench. I caught the ball. And they were like, I got Nurse. Where's Nurse going? This, that, Nurse. And I was like, holy shit, what the how did they know my name? Right?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And
preparation.
that I remember that because we were down, we went down to Texas and we were 0-2,
wow,
I think, or 0-1. And we had to go down to Texas and Texas was pretty good that year.
Yep.
And they played tough defense. And Rick Barnes knew who Mike Nurse was. I was like, nah, you got to know these other dudes that's been playing. I'm new. No, they know you, right? You can't, like, you're exposed. you're exposed.
Mhm.
If there was a weakness in my game, they knew about it, right?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't hide it. You can't hide it. Oh, he can't do this. All right, well, he's gonna have to do this to beat us, right? And now you look at the big fella, and you're like, well, why isn't he doing more? And I'm like, well, it's very tough. You know, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to do more. It's because you got to get acclimated. So my senior year, I'm like, oh, okay. Not only did I have Jamal Tinsley and Ketrell Horton on the perimeter with me, but I was already accustomed to whatever the Big 12 had to throw at us. The first couple of games that Jamal played in the Big 12, he struggled. He wasn't Superman. You know what I mean? Because it's a different animal.
Mhm.
It's completely different, and you have to be able to meet the intensity. And with us, you had to exceed the intensity, because if you're just meeting it, you might not be playing.
True.
Right.
I feel that. That's good analysis of that. I'm gonna pause you real quick. I know you want to keep going, but I gotta pause, so we gotta do the money shots. So, Three Beers Media, Rebelton Distillery, Brown Dogs Farm. You know, those are the people that's supporting us throughout this. Magic Mike's Meats might be the next one. You know,
He's in off season.
yeah, you know, so Mike is during football season. He's going to get us some tailgating tips. You know, we alluded to that last year. We're gonna get some tailgating tips from Mike next year, so that you can have the awesome tailgate. Because I never seen anybody tailgate for basketball. They just drink beer out of the trunk. It's not really a tailgate. It's just having fun. But you know, we tailgate for football, so we're gonna get that. And then Clint, I see you try to
You
say
just
something.
setting up for basketball. It's too cold though, man. You want to do that in Ames? You out of your mind?
You know that in Ames, if it's over 35 degrees and ain't no snow and maybe a little snow, you're gonna be out there drinking. 35 degrees, 30 degrees in Iowa. It's cool, right? Clint, am I lying?
Just bring that koozie. Yeah, you got to bring that koozie.
See?
What do you need a koozie for?
It warms your hand.
Hold
You
the
know,
beer
it warms
can.
your hand more than the beer at that temperature, right?
Right.
Listen, the problem
Exactly.
is when these Iowans are drunk, they don't. There's no weather. You think there's weather when they're lit?
Oh man, I remember when I moved to LA. I moved to LA in December of 2008, and I got off the plane. I met my new boss, got my company car, and it was 55 degrees. And I
It's
left.
52 here right now.
Yeah, but I left Iowa on December 5th, and it was 20 degrees. There was a 35-degree change. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm walking around LA, and they're in bubble coats. They're bundled up in bubble coats. Bubble coats. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's 55 degrees. Like, this is a nice day. Like, this was nighttime, 55 degrees. Like, it was 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, it's always, they got those little memes about Iowa wearing flip flops and the flannel or whatever, But I loved Iowa, man.
That's home. That's home.
That is home. That's always gonna be home. I know. I talked to Truck. We were tailgate one time, and he was just like, "Man, I love the tailgating." He's like, "I think about moving my family back out here, during this time of the year, not during the winter, because he's down there in Atlanta." But during this time of the year, because the kids are out there playing, throwing the football, making friendship. Everybody got their garage door open when it's an away game. Hey, neighbor, come on in. Let's drink. Let's kick it. And it's just an inviting environment. It's just fun out there. And I mean, that's one of the things I will always remember about that is being able to get out there and experience. And last time I was in town, bad weather, so my kids this was their first time back for a game, and they could not experience that. But get them back this next fall to experience the true tailgating of what it is out there. So I hit Clint up out there. He can bring the kids up there and kick it with me. So Marcus, you said you had some stories. Well, I know some of y'all. I mean, like we talked about it. We know we got to do so. So Mike, I don't know how long you're gonna be on with us, but you talked about Texas Tech. So we play Texas Tech next Tuesday at Ames at Hilton, and then we play them at the end of the month on the 30th at Texas Tech. So we might have to phone a
We should
friend
forfeit
and
that game.
huh?
We should forfeit that game.
Why should we forfeit the game, man? We ain't even played yet. Like we ain't even played it once yet.
That is a nightmare going there. Do you not remember what happened last year?
I do.
Jesus Christ. That was the most excruciating game to watch. It was like there was the boa constrictor that just wrapped themselves around us and wouldn't let us breathe.
But we remember that. It's that muscle memory. We remember how that felt. We don't want to feel that again.
That was hard to watch. I'm scared it's gonna happen again.
But you gotta have faith, player. You gotta have faith.
No, I don't. I'm too old for this faith shit. I've seen what they have done in that building. And I don't want anything to do with it. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I don't care. I don't want nothing to do with Texas Tech in Lubbock. I don't. I don't want it.
Now.
That don't sound like the 3-day new Mike. That don't sound like the 3 You gotta change, Mike. It's a new you.
It's 2 o'clock out east.
Well, I'm
a new day coming in.
My thing is, you want me to, I want the whole situation to change. I want us to not have to go to Lubbock. I don't care about going anywhere else. I'll go anywhere else. I don't care. What they did to us in Lubbock, that was demoralizing. I didn't think after that, I was like, oh, we're exposed. Everybody knows how to play us now. We're never going to win another game. We won games after that, but I was shook. They had their big man. They switched their big man. They would switch their big man because they switch everything onto our guards, onto our scorer, and we couldn't get past it.
We learned.
All right.
Learn experience.
More experience now.
So we gonna have you. We gonna phone you in for 5 minutes. I ain't gonna let you talk a lot. We record. So that's on the 30th. So that means we gonna record on the first. So the Wednesday the 1st is when we.
No. No, don't call me after that.
Well, what if we win? If we win, can we call you?
If we win, then I look like a scared old man. I don't want to talk then either.
When we win,
Clint, talk to this man. Talk to this man.
Mike, you got to have faith, man. You got to know you can go down there, get a good win, get out, and get back home. That's all you got to be thinking, right?
Get right back on that bus.
Anywhere else. Anywhere else. Go down to Baylor. I don't care. I'm not worried about Baylor. I'm not scared of Baylor. I am terrified of Texas Tech. Because our offense is poor, and their defense, again, their defense is really good. Again, and they lost a bunch of players.
They did.
Yep.
One of my players that I coached here last year that played with Marcus Jr. is plays for Texas Tech. So I'm very amped about that game. Richard Isaacs Jr. He plays for Tech. I think he's the starting point guard or second guard this freshman year. So we've had that one circled for some time now.
Okay.
So my
George,
thing is this: you can erase all the names off of the back of their shirts, and I'm still nervous. Like they could be generic players. That coach knows exactly what to do against our basketball team. Remember last year, they came to Ames with like 6 players. And we scored 44 points in Ames and won 44-42 or something like that.
Yeah, that was a slow one.
I think we scored 30-something points in Texas. I don't understand how y'all don't remember this.
I remember.
We remember. We didn't say we forgot. Yeah. We just have faith. Things change.
I don't know where it's from.
Things change. Clint was trying to get in and say something to you. You kept talking. Clint,
no, I remember our 99-2000 team. We won at Texas Tech, but it was not easy.
Wasn't easy at all.
It was a tough game. And Marcus, I think I remember you and Coach Eustace might have had a little back and forth that game.
Oh, we had a lot of back and forth.
And then, okay, so I got the second time I was at Texas Tech. That was the only game in my career that I started, and it was against Bobby Knight. And then, like Mike said, we got railroaded about by 38 points. So there's been some rough experiences in Lubbock for me too.
And I get where you're coming from, Mike, because they have not won in the Big 12 yet, so they're angry. So going down there, they're gonna be angry. But we got this. We got this. I got faith, man. I'm rocking with this team. I'm rocking with the team all the way.
I'm always rocking with the team, but I'm not watching that game. Like they tore something out of me last year at Texas Tech that I have never gotten back. So I'm just gonna stay far away from that game.
Okay.
There's no shame in not watching that game. There's no shame.
You're right. You're right.
I'm watching.
Which is exactly what's gonna happen. I'm not watching that.
I feel you. But like
y'all have me backsliding again. Like I've had a good 3 days. By then it'll be like 11.
We apologize. We didn't mean to rile you up. I didn't know when I called it was a new mic. I know I wasn't aware. You didn't tell me that when I talked to you. So I apologize. Clint and Marcus did not mean to rile you up. We're sorry.
No, it's not riling up. I'm scared.
We're used to it. This is a little piped down a little bit, but we're definitely used to it.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is scared Mike Nurse.
That's what's up. But I'm glad you was able to jump on with us, man. We all doing some different things, and Clint, I think you work with my one of my guys out of Wells Fargo, Adrian Dunbar. I don't know if he ran track. I don't remember him from Iowa State.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yep, I think he still works at Wells Fargo. I'm not sure if he does or not, but I still talk to him every once in a while.
Wells Fargo, send me some money.
And they need to send everybody.
Don't work that way. Exactly.
I wanted to throw out some things with the Trice legacy though. While we're here, on our website, tricelegacy.com, tricelegacy.org, johnjacktrice.org, wherever we got all of them, so they all link to the same place. But we just posted out there. We have a technology grant. I have 3 laptops sitting here right now that we want to give to some kids that need technology to do well in school. Also on there, you could put a request in to get a grant for some of your some supplemental internet. We know internet's expensive right now. We know some people don't have access to that, but we're looking at ways to help students, be successful. So we got that going on. Our scholarship is live on the website. I think by looking at the emails, I think I've gotten 3 applicants already. We want the first scholarship to go to somebody from East Tech that's going to college because that's where Jack went. So we're focusing on East Tech. But that does not mean that anybody can't get this. So they have about a 300 to 500 word or less of what Jack's letter and what family, community, and education mean to them. So I'm not the one making that final selection. My advisory board will be making that selection based on their essays, and we'll go from there. But we are working on some good things this year. So excited about what's to come for this 100th commemorative anniversary of Jack. I got one of the jerseys on. I still got a tag on it because we still got this one up for auction. Maybe it got my smell on it. I smell pretty good. I smell good. I did my shirt line today. But we got a couple of these that we're gonna look to do something with. I'm doing that. Mike, you're in your off season. You're doing you're getting prepared for your busy season right there. Clint, are you in the?
Oh no, I'm not getting prepared.
You're not getting prepared. You're just chilling, not drinking beer.
Hell no.
Okay.
I'm not until April, man.
Till April. So where are you? So tell the audience where you're at and where they can find you at on social media, and we know where you're physically at, regional wise.
All right. Well, I'm in we're out of Teaneck, New Jersey, hometown. 100% mobile. We're in on Instagram and Facebook at Magic Mike's Smoked. We're also on Twitter at Magic Mike Smoke without the D. Someone apparently already had that, which was very disappointing. But I do most of my things through Facebook and Instagram.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Clint, are you in any extracurricular? Are you doing any charity? You doing any coaching? Are you doing anything outside of Wells Fargo these days?
I don't got anything to plug, not like Mike, but just coaching my son's AAU team. That's kind of the big thing. Waukee Force, we're trying to get some more out of state stuff, so it's an exciting time, and you really start to get back to your roots on how are you going to win a game. How are you going to press? How are you going to get everybody on the same page? And it just really it kind of takes you back to those college days when you start coaching again.
I feel you on that. Feels good, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Good to get on the court.
Yep. Mark, what you got going on with your nonprofit? With what Junior up to? When you come back through Phoenix, so we can link up. What's going on with you?
Well, I mean, just still the same with our nonprofit Hunger Lows, where me and my wife started to feed the homeless with loaves of bread and whatever else we can assist them with. So we still getting that off the ground, getting that rolling, and trying to get everything lined up with that. It's mostly like a family thing, so we want to branch out and spread our wings with that one. Junior, he's down at Bella Vista Prep. I think they're ranked 3rd or 4th or 5th in the nation in the prep school grind sessions circuit. So he's playing good basketball down there. Definitely waiting to hear that call from this certain Midwest team that we're all accustomed to.
Oh,
it's a certain one I'm always going to be biased, but he's playing extremely well. He grew about 2 inches over the summer, so he's a legit 6'6", right at 6'7" with his shoes on. Can do pretty much everything. Shoot it, pass it, 1, 2, 3. So plays the game the right way. So we're very excited about him and everything that he's doing down there. One of the prep schools that he was going to attend, Powerhouse, the facility down there in Phoenix. They weren't able to get him, so he went to Bella Vista. So they played him on Tuesday. So me and my wife are trying to put together something to come down, and watch that game. The kids are in school, so it's kind of hard to, to navigate that a little bit. But we're gonna see. It's not that far; it's about a 4-hour drive. So if we can get down there for the game and turn around and come back, we might do that. But it's just exciting times. I've been coaching them for the last 5-6 years, high school and out of junior high, and this was just that step to get him in the place where he can get more acclimated to how he's going to be on the next level in college, because basketball out here in Vegas isn't the best. It definitely isn't the toughest. So we want to put him in a situation that was going to challenge him a little bit more. He had a lot of growing up to do. He grew up a little bit differently, a little bit more privileged than I did. So that toughness and grind was a little bit different for him. So he's learned a lot. We're definitely grateful for the opportunity, and we're excited to see what's going to happen this summer.
no doubt. Yeah, if you can't make it to the game, let me know. I'm in town. I'll go show some support, show some love. So
Sure.
just let me know. I want to make sure he has family out here, because we are a Cyclone family. Even though we ain't blood, we all family. So whatever I can do to support him and give him some support while I'm down here, since I'm close.
Yes, sir.
My man, you know that.
Appreciate it.
So wait, let me ask this question. Are you telling me that Iowa State is not recruiting him?
Nope.
He didn't say that. He said his school.
No,
I'm telling him.
No, we're not doing that. I asked,
and I'm giving you the answer. Iowa State has not reached out to Marcus Pfizer Jr., who is a 6'6", 6'7", 1, 2, 3 guard that can shoot it, pass it, play defense.
What? You just went out, Marcus. We just lost you.
My bad, my mic went out.
Right.
But no, I mean, it's like I said, I'm always going to be biased, but we understand the fact of it has to happen in the process of it happening. I want them to reach out to him for his skill, not for his pedigree or his namesake, because he is his own player. Our first name is Darnell. We've called him DJ his whole life, but as he begins to get recognition around it, everything like that, people starting to put together the Pfizer Junior together, and they see me with them, so now they starting to call him Marcus Pfizer Jr. So it is what it is. But the overall process is, he's a great student, honor roll student, knows how to play the game. Larry would love him. Takes 78 charges a game and gets them. Know how to get in position for everything. And but like I say, he plays the game right. He's extremely raw, under the radar, but we're just trying to get him in a position to have some success on the next level. I tell you what, Leonard Perry at Pacific has already offered him, and he got an offer from him as a freshman in high school. So, Leonard is somebody I definitely trust. So if that's an option for us as well, we'll see what's going to happen.
So ISU, waiting on you. There's a crickets right there. We ain't heard from you.
Definitely waiting.
I am very confused. I thought there was a legacy program at Iowa State. Excuse me for not knowing that. Now I gotta tell my kids, y'all can't go there. I thought I was under the impression that Michael Nurse Jr. was going to be at Iowa State wearing number 53. Because they haven't retired my number yet, and we need to talk about that.
So we'll get Pollard online and see when they go retire your number.
They hadn't retired mine either, but I mean, I don't know if it's the fact they don't recruit a lot in the out west or whatever. My oldest son, Monday, he's a pro now, playing over in Georgia. He was first team All State, and we never got any kind of calls or anything like that, and played extremely good high school ball here in Nevada, and I don't guess they don't get out here to Nevada that well.
Well, who's the head coach when he was in school?
When my son was in school, was Freddie.
Who was Iowa State's head coach?
Fred.
Come on, Fred.
Hey, you said it, I didn't.
Y'all gonna get us in trouble. Y'all gonna get us in trouble. We go.
Facts is what facts
I gotta
is,
start
man.
editing these calls before Mike
Fred said tripping.
What'd you say, Mike?
Fred said tripping.
And then what happened?
Go ahead, beat. Hey, beat me again, man.
I'm not sure if all those words were bleep worthy, but it was probably one or two.
Necessary, but it made for excitement,
Yeah. Because 3 days. I'm on my third day. No backslide. You didn't need to bleep it.
Man, okay, Clint. Before we head out of here, Clint, you got something you want to say to the people out there, man? We appreciate you coming on, so we want to give you a second to say anything, man.
George, I appreciate the invite. Marcus, Mike, it's great to catch up.
You too, bro.
This is the most exciting time of year right now, right? You start to see these teams that are just juggernauts when they come into the NCAA tournament, and I think we're going to have a lot of good games this spring. So I love the way this team plays hard. They got a bunch of older guys. I think this could be a really fun season, and I'm just looking forward to watching it.
That's what's up. Appreciate you too, my man. Mike, what you got to say before I cut you off?
So, Fred, stop tripping. You're wilding. You were there for like 5 or 6 years. Stop it. TJ, there's got to be some type of legacy, like, program that you bring in former players' kids. I'm sorry. It should happen. Like, you want to, all right, I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant, but you want to build your program. Build it from within. Bring in the Pfizers, the Stevie Johnsons, the Jamal Tinsley, if you can find him, right? The Mike Nurses, right? You bring in
We here.
people like Clint Varley. No, but I'm saying people like Clint.
Yeah.
Clint walked on, right?
Yeah.
He's not
That's right.
one of those guys that was like, oh, here's a scholarship. He walked on. His passion for Iowa State is unlimited. Unlimited.
Well,
There needs
I'm
to
counting
be
on that. Like,
some type of legacy program.
my dad played at Iowa State, so I was a legacy, and I'm hoping Colin might do the same.
Absolutely.
Man, we hope so,
Absolutely.
man. We hope so, because you're part of the program. You're like what the like. I don't want to curse because I'm on my third
I got the
day.
button. Go ahead. I got the button. Go ahead.
Like I'm trying to get some lasting in this, man. And when I think honestly, when I think about Iowa State, I think about so long that we weren't really welcomed back. That the past didn't matter. Then Prome shows up, and all of a sudden the past matters. He's bringing guys in. He's like, "Yo, you guys come in. You're part of what build a foundation for Iowa State. We want to do an alumni thing, right?" And now it's a little shaky. Like I didn't go back for basketball since 2019, and that like I said before, that means a lot to people. That not only means a lot to the players, that means a lot to the future players to know that they're, the love is there. Then that means a lot to the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to build. I want to build a family. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to build a family, and we're in all corners of the United States, and it's tough to get everybody back. But if they're welcome, if they feel welcome, they're gonna find a way to get back. I found a way to get back. I came from Teaneck, like all the way over in New York, by New York City. Stevie came from California. Cantrell came from Georgia. If you invite and want us back, we'll find a way to come. And I don't only want that for the 2000 team or the 99 team. No, I want it for every single team.
Right.
Every single player.
Yeah.
Every single, even Larry, every single coach. I want this family to be whole. And I know it's not in some people's priority, but it should be.
Appreciate that.
You're 100% right, man.
Yep.
Right.
Message.
So, Clint, I don't know if you knew you had a nickname of Tough Guy.
Oh yeah. Tough
I
guy.
think it was
farm.
weight room.
Nah.
So,
See that.
Marcus, you remember calling me weight room?
That's what it is. That's what I got a story about. That's what look, and just to start it off, I definitely appreciate both of these guys, through and through. I mean, I tell people all the time what we went through, especially me and Mike was together 2 years, and we weren't that good my sophomore year and his junior year. That progression of learning to that next year is where we made huge steps, but being able to have someone like him around that I can trust. Like I said, I welcomed the double team and I welcomed them coming because I knew once if I can get it out there to him, sometimes it may have to be a hockey assist or whatever, but I know, the way we play, it was going to find our best shooter, and it wasn't no limit to where he was shooting from. He was pulling it no matter wherever it touched his hands at, that's where it was going up. So to have that trust and everything in him and to have him to be able to knock down shots and make it easier for me on the inside, I definitely was grateful for that. And for Clint, man, walking on, to the basketball team, not sure if you're going to get a lot of playing time or any playing time at all, but, those guys like that really gave it to us in practice, really made it extremely hard for us. Clint made me wanted to get into the weight room harder and lift harder. That's why we called them weight room. I remember this one instance where, I mean, we was going at it for whatever reason. Probably because Larry Stacey and the way the practices was. We hated practice. And I said online the other day, I hated practicing at the Hilton. And it was like, why? Well, because it's the regulated floor. There's nobody in there but us. It's cold and freezing in there. And you just don't want to be in that situation. We want to be at the Forkin building and somewhere else where it's smaller, where a little bit warmer and stuff like that. But me and Clint was going back and forth, elbowing each other and all that different stuff. And I must have caught him, elbowed him in the mouth or something like that. And like he turned around and he spit. He had this white halls in his mouth and he spit and it skipped. And Paul Shirley was like, if that's your tooth, that's fucking impressive. and so at the moment, I'm mad at him because we going back and forth, and I'm thinking, this dude think he tougher than me. That ain't his tooth. I was like, that's a cough drop. And Paul was like, well, the way he still took that elbow was impressive. But that's how the practices was. And so we all laughed about it, got through a practice and everything like that. We got through that moment. But it was a test to how hard we worked and how hard we went at each other to make each other better. And like I said, he didn't have to go through things like that. Being a walk-on, he could have been doing anything else that he wanted to do in school. And to have to come to practice, it was no different for the walk-ons as it was for the people that was on scholarship. From the superstars, as they call us, to whoever else. Everybody was up under the same thing when we went to practice. We all had the same things to be accountable for, and we went hard at each other each and every day, each and every night out. And the result was, ultimately the year that we had. So I definitely appreciate these guys, definitely without a doubt. Clint made me better, Mike made me better, Coach Stacey and the coaching staff, everyone made me better, and we had great success. The only thing I'm disappointed about is we didn't win it all in the end.
That's what's up. We're gonna have more of those stories. Thomas Watkins is the one that told me about the tough guy thing. So he wasn't able to get on tonight, but we're gonna get Watt on one of these days because he out here in Arizona with me.
He down there too, yeah.
Watt out here on there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we appreciate our guests on here, Clint and Mike. We appreciate y'all, the love y'all showing us. Again, shout out to all our fans. Click, like, subscribe out there, Side of the Storm, wherever you get your podcasts at.
Yes, sir.
Hunker Lowe's, Trice Legacy, Coaches Colossus. Don't forget about Brent. Even though he ain't here, don't forget about Brent. Three Beers Media, Rebel 10, and Brown Dog. So with that, we signing out. Go State. And we miss y'all. So we'll holler at y'all next week. We're gonna go out with this Sweet Caroline. We're gonna let that ride for a little bit. So holla at you.
Go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones.
State.